Well, the collapse of Hastie Group is likely to cost 2,000 jobs and $500 million to investors. Accounting firm Deloitte is in the spotlight tonight as recriminations begin over the demise of the construction company. Uncomfortable questions are now being asked about how warning signs were not picked up before it was too late. Andrew Robertson reports.
In the end, it was just $20 million euphemistically described as accounting irregularities which tipped Hastie Group over the edge. As thousands of employees anxiously wait to hear if they still have a job, company boss Bill Wild says it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
To turn around after several weeks of saying that we're on the cusp of signing a new recapitalisation, which was going to be an excellent deal for the company, would have been debt-free and ready to go, and then to turn around and say we found this issue. So it wasn't the 20 million as a 20 million issue, it was a 20 million in terms of confidence destroyed.
The question being asked, though, is who should have known, and inevitably the spotlight is falling on Hastie Group's auditor, Deloitte.
They should be looking at the entire spectrum and find discrepancies and then report back on the discrepancies. And it doesn't seem that that's been the case in this matter.
On top of its big losses, Hastie Group's share price had plummeted to just 16 cents before the admission of the accounting irregularities. Deloitte declined the ABC's invitation to take part in this report, saying it can't comment on client matters.
They just can't sit back in a closed room and say, these are the books we're given, these are the books we're going to check. They have got a duty of care to ask pertinent questions, questions that may not be very comfortable to both parties, but they have to ask it because people have put confidence in the auditor.
A confidence which many shareholders of Hastie may feel has been misplaced, which is why Melbourne University corporate governance expert Professor Ian Ramsey believes Deloitte may not have heard the last of this issue.
In the context of, it seems to me, a real prospect of litigation, possible defendants include the company itself, senior officers and directors, and possibly also the external auditors.
And while Hastie CEO Bill Wild has admitted there may have been fraud, the University of New South Wales' Michael Peters is concerned about some of the public statements emanating from Hastie Group. Hastie is well positioned in a challenging and uncertain external environment. Our businesses are sound and operate in sectors where there is demand.
Those statements had more to do with placating the engineers they had hired and, of course, their subcontractors, because this business relies on having these people on board rather than just having the stock market on board as well.
Which for Michael Peters raises the issue of continuous disclosure and is one reason why both he and Ian Ramsey believe the Australian Securities and Investments Commission will be very busy in coming months.
The Hastie Group issued a prospectus last year for $160 million. No doubt the regulator will be reviewing that prospectus along with all the other public announcements to ensure that nothing in those announcements was false or misleading.
There are some, though, who believe ASIC itself, just like Deloitte, should also be answering questions.